Every freaking day in our county, someone dies from an alcohol-related collision. Don't become a statistic because of a boneheaded move that you make where you kill someone. Life is short. Life, when you end up with a bunch of convictions, it doesn't become a fun life. What makes life fun is you get knowledge. And when you get knowledge, you buy things because you get money. But you only do that. Your lawyer's asking for me to set you a bond, but I don't know. I've never met you before. I don't know you. You know, one of the things that I consider is, number one, are you going to go back if we set you a bond? Number two, are you a dangerous person? Because I don't want to set you a bond and then you leave a wake of destruction on your way to Louisiana. I mean, I don't want that. Good morning, Mr. Smith.
Good morning.
How's jail?
The worst experience of my life, bro.
Makes me really happy. It's supposed to be. You know, the idea of jails are that you learn. And unfortunately, we have people that just don't get it. No matter how long the sentences are, no matter how cold the bars get, they just don't get it. You're wanted out of Louisiana for this car.
Yes, sir.
Your lawyer's asking for me to set you a bond, but I don't know. I've never met you before. I don't know you. You know, one of the things that I consider is, number one, are you going to go back if we set you a bond? Number two, are you a dangerous person? Because I don't want to set you a bond and then you leave a wake of destruction on your way to Louisiana. I mean, I don't want that.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Kim, tell me about Mr. Smith.
Your Honor, this now defendant, along with 3 co-defendants, stole a vehicle out of Louisiana and transferred state lines on the same day and was apprehended in Harris County. He's facing a felony charge there due to the fact that they transferred state lines within 24 hours of stealing the vehicle, which was captured on surveillance video. State would be opposed to a bond as state considers him a flight risk.
Any prior criminal history?
No, Your Honor.
Judge, he is from Natchitoches, Louisiana, which is where the offense is from. His family lived there and he was born there. They moved to Manning, Louisiana. I talked to his wife and his girlfriend.
His wife?
Mother.
23.
That's what I call his mother and his girlfriend. Okay. I spoke to his mother, Sophia Smith. She lives in Manning, Louisiana. She will post his bond. And I spoke to Sophia Smith and she'll come over here and pick him up. That's transport him back to Louisiana.
Here's the thing, Mr. Smith, is I need you to understand that we don't play games. If I set you a bond and you make that bond, we give you 2 weeks to go turn yourself in.
I will, sir. I promise.
We don't play games. So if you fail to do it, I'm going to revoke that bond. I'll set it at 0. I'm going to issue a nationwide warrant for your arrest. I'm going to get you because you can't run forever. And the next time, you will not get another one. Do you understand? Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $1,500. Here's the other thing. Life is short. Life, when you end up with a bunch of convictions, it doesn't become a fun life. What makes life fun is you get knowledge. And when you get knowledge, you buy things because you get money. But you only do that when you go out there, school, learn, get a good job. That's what life is about. I'm not picking up convictions.
So that's nothing. I'm in college right now too, sir. That's why it's kind of crazy.
I'm really in college.
Yeah, audio arts.
And now with all this, really, dude, when you hang with boneheads, it doesn't end up well. You know, get a clue so you don't end up back here. Mr. Smith, I'm going to set your bond at $1,500. Just, Mr. Smith,
Yes, sir.
don't disappoint us, man. Do something with your life. Don't become another statistic. $1,500 and then do right, man. It's not hard in this life, you know? All right, we got you.
Thank you, Judge.
So if he can make it, I'll print out the reset for him to sign and I have the waiver withdrawal for you to sign.
I'll bring that. Don't send him back yet. You got some.
Yeah, so I'm typing up the reset right now, but the waiver withdrawal is there for you to sign.
You're Jeffrey Chauvin.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chauvin, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're also charged with resisting arrest. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay, please.
On March 5th, 2025, an officer was dispatched to a trespasser call at a Whataburger in Harris County, Texas. A complaining witness, an employee, stated that she told the defendant who was in their dumpster in the parking lot to leave, and defendant refused. Staff tried to tell the defendant to leave again at 1 a.m. and defendant stated that he would leave in an hour. At 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., defendant was still refusing to leave after being asked to do so multiple times. At 5 a.m., the trash company came. Defendant refused to come out, so they could not pick up the trash. The officer observed defendant in the dumpster and asked him multiple times to come out and that he had been trespassed from the location, but defendant continued to refuse for about 30 minutes. The officer asked the defendant if he would be willing to go to the jail diversion center, and defendant said yes. The officer handcuffed the defendant so he could eat food. Officers provided him. The officer went to reapply handcuffs, but the defendant resisted passively by not following officer commands to lean forward. The defendant verbally stated, "No, I'm going to keep my hands here." After several attempts and the defendant not following verbal commands, the officers removed the defendant from the vehicle and put him on the ground so he would not hit his head. While officers attempted to handcuff the defendant actively resisted by pulling his arms away from officers. The officers still took defendant to the jail diversion center, but upon arrival, the defendant said he did not want to be there and just wanted to be released, so he was rejected. While en route, the defendant had taken his seatbelt off, put his handcuffs in front of his body. The officers told the defendant he would have to be handcuffed behind his back, and the defendant agreed. Officers told the defendant to lean forward, and the defendant stated, "No, you're going to have to shoot me," and actively resisted by pushing his body onto the officers in an attempt to escape from the patrol vehicle. The defendant stated he would stop resisting once officers loosened up control, and when officers did, he would go back to actively resisting by attempting to get out. The officer was eventually able to secure the defendant. The defendant broke the officer's nail on the right hand, and officers sustained minor bruises to his finger and forearm.
I'm charged with the assault on a peace officer, Mr. Chauvin. I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Do not go back to this Whataburger.
Yes,
Do not go back to this Whataburger. Do not pick up any new cases and show up to court. When you show up to court, good things happen. If you take off again, it's not going to go well. We've already given you, this is your second PR bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I was not told I had court the first time. I was homeless. I was sleeping in the dumpster.
Okay, well, I don't want you to say anything now because I don't want you to hurt yourself. Let me give you a lawyer. They'll be able to talk to the lawyer how to resolve this case. We're going to give you a future court date, most probably. If you miss it again, I'm going to issue a warrant. You're not going to get a third PR bond. Do you understand?
I have to remain in Houston until this.
Well, let me get you a lawyer. We can talk and try to see how we go forward. For now, let me just have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box, and then we're going to get you a lawyer here momentarily. Okay? Please.
Morning, Judge.
Hey, what's going on with you?
How much are you? Right around.
Yeah, I want to go back to bed. Good morning, Mr. Salas. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You're also charged with evading arrest or detention. On that, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On or about March 26, 2025, an officer was on patrol on Gulf Freeway in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed a motor vehicle disabled to the left hand, grass speed, dividing southbound and northbound lanes of traffic. The motor vehicle had multiple airbags deployed and all four tires appeared to be damaged. On arrival, the officer observed additional motor vehicle disabled on the open access roadway of what was formerly a car dealership. The officer observed the witness walking towards the officer, trying to get the officer's attention. The witness said 5 minutes prior to the officer's arrival, the defendant approached the witness after the witness tires were blown out. The witness informed the officer that the defendant demanded to use the witness's phone. The witness advised the officer that the defendant wanted to contact the defendant's mother to pick up the defendant from the scene. The witness told the officer that the defendant continued to approach aggressively and that the witness told the defendant the witness would call the police if the defendant did not stop. The witness said the defendant fled the scene on foot. The witness described the defendant's clothing, and the officer observed the individual matching the description running and approaching the scene of the incident. As the defendant approached the scene of the accident, the defendant began walking in a parking lot adjacent to the freeway. The officer gave loud verbal commands for the defendant to stop. The defendant fled on foot on the grass along a ditch. The defendant slid down a ditch and the defendant crossed the Water Creek, then climbed the fence attached to private residence, and fled on foot for approximately 0.4 miles before he was later detained by a Houston Police Department and turned over to deputy. The scene was moved to a Shell station to continue the investigation. The officers contacted the defendant. The officers observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage emitting from the defendant, and the officers observed the defendant have red, glossy eyes, slurred speech, dry mouth, repeating phrases, and agitated demeanor.
You say a shaky demeanor?
Agitated demeanor. And the defendant denied drinking alcohol and initially denied drug use, and then stated that he had been off for a couple of days and had consumed paste or coke. The officer, through training experience, noticed to be representing cocaine. The defendant admitted that he was going to a girl's house when the incident occurred and agreed to perform the standardized field sobriety tests. Those were administered, and the officer observed success exclusion on the HGN. The officer did not administer the walking tour of the one-leg stand due to the defendant injuring his feet while fleeing. The defendant consented to a breast sample, which was not completed due to interference being detected. The officer obtained a search warrant for the defendant's blood, and there was a blood draw for the defendant.
Okay. Your Honor, may I come?
Please.
I might have missed something, but besides the state saying that my client said he was going to someone's house, I didn't hear any operation facts.
I mean, he admits driving. He's by the car when the officers get there, right? Is he by the car when the officers get there, or where is he?
What I have, Your Honor, he has fled the scene when the officers get there, and then comes back to the scene.
Okay.
To the officers. The witness.
Does the witness put him operating at all?
Yeah, just one moment, Your Honor.
Take your time.
Yeah, all I heard is going somewhere. It doesn't say he was driving anywhere.
They might refollow the part of the window or corner. Sometimes they'll fade in, it's getting to go.
I'm not sure, Your Honor, there was anything additional. This is kind of nothing was weird.
Hey, look at
Good to
it.
see you again, Your Honor.
Yeah, what's up, man? Good to see you. Do you have anything else?
Your Honor, it does look like the witness stated that he stopped and exited his vehicle and observed the driver of the RAV4. That's what I have, but
So it doesn't match with my client.
Martinez stated once he stopped and exited the vehicle, he observed the driver of the RAV4, identified as Abraham Elias Salas, using driver's license, come out from the grass near the RAV4 and aggressively approach him, requesting to use his cell phone. Stated that he was trying to use his cell phone to call his mother to come pick him up, and that Salas said the RAV4 belonged to his mother. Martinez stated after a short time that Salas asked Martinez if he had papers for immigration.
Judge, even with these facts, it doesn't show driving. Even if he owned the car, we have no idea when. There's no facts to say that he was driving the car, that he admitted to driving the car. I don't see operation still.
So Salas stated that he was driving the RAV4 because he was going to a female's house and continued to speak. Salas then stated that he ended up in the grass because he was scared. Then stated that he was a Mexican driver that swerved in front of him. And
He said a Mexican driver swerved in front of him. Is that what he said?
I told him no Tango Papeles, or I don't have papers. Salas said the other driver was in a gray Toyota, telling him to go away. Stated that the RAV4 and the alleged Toyota came into contact, causing a collision. Salas stated that he was coming from his house in Friendswood, but denied having anything to drink.
I think if they...
He was operating the vehicle at the time of the accident.
And you have the other person say something, right?
they say that it was. They identified him as the driver.
They just never say they saw him driving or operating the vehicle.
So I believe that they believe, based on the circumstances, that it was a driver. I don't know if the witness actually saw him driving. What we have to prove the driving facts is that Reeves fired to a police prior to his arrest. He admits that he was driving the vehicle at the time of the accident, and the vehicle was found at the scene of an accident. It was found nearby. Was observed coming out of the grass nearby. By the red driver.
Although that's an admission, Judge, it needs to be an admission plus. I don't see that being enough for the plus.
Mr. Salas, I'm going to find that there's no probable cause in your case. Every freaking day in our county, someone dies from an alcohol-related collision. Don't become a statistic because of a boneheaded move that you make where you kill someone. Do you understand? Now, I'm going to find no probable cause. It's very possible they go indict this case at a later time if they get more evidence. But don't kill anyone. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
See.
Thank you, Your Honor. Are there any conditions you're imposing on the evading case?
No, I'm going to find no on both.
On both. Thank you, Judge.